Hi Pile 1, welcome to your reading today, where this is another one of our book series during the month of Sagittarius. So I wanted to do books that were very worldly or philosophical and conceptual for you, that really embraced the Sagittarius spirit. So you guys have picked for your book, you guys have picked The Alchemist, which is very, very beautiful. And there's actually a caption on the back in this moon, which I'm going to read for you guys because I feel like it pertains to your question today, which is, what is your person's next action? And I feel like this actually video pertains to the video that we just released about what have they realized lately? Because what I see from this is about what your person is realizing right now, which connects to their next action. So if you haven't watched that video, you may want to, because I feel like these messages might go hand in hand. Before I go into your other objects, I am going to read this caption for you because I feel like this connects to their next action, which says, to realize one's destiny is a person's only obligation. So I feel like your person might be realizing their destiny right now in their life, and I feel like that connects to you. And I feel like that connects to acting on their destiny. Hi, Treasure. Get down, my sweet love. So I think that this is very important, and the moon, I feel like, is very psychic, very intuitive. I feel like your person's next action is they're going to be connecting with their emotions and their feelings and their psychic intuition, and I feel like they're going to be downloading a lot of messages in regards to you and in regards to this connection. And I feel like especially this pertains if your person or you are a water sign, a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, because the moon, I feel, connects to that. So I think that's very interesting. So I do feel like that is an important piece to your person's next action. Now you have also picked these other magical objects today. You've picked this gorgeous Jasper sphere. I love how these colors are so deep and so rich. And I feel like red jasper is a very grounding stone. So if your person has been needing a little work on their sacral chakra or on their root chakra, I feel like that this is very strong and very much pertains to your person taking action on their security. So I really feel root chakra, especially with this crystal, but also how interesting how I feel like this also looks like Jupiter. So I feel like when it connects to your person, I feel like they're going to be working through healing a sense of emotional security as well as physical financial security, because I feel like that is really pertaining to your person's next action so that they can take action. Because if they don't feel financially or emotionally secure, then they can't really take action because they're in survival mode. Also, Jupiter is about luck and abundance and the universe coming in to help. And I do feel like that your person's next action is going to pertain because they are getting a little extra help from the universe. So I think that's also very fascinating. So I will put this Jupiter Jasper in frame next to the Alchemist so you can see it. And I want to show you the deck that you have picked today, which is the Let's Fall in Love Oracle. So this is the last video I am releasing during the month of November. So after that, we're going into holidays and winter time. So this is the last video that this deck will be used. So I definitely wanted to feature it for sure as one of the decks to pick. So I love that you picked it. And also about the Alchemist, it's beautiful how it pertains to your person's next action, because I also feel like your person's next action is that they're going to discover where their treasure really lies. And that is really part of their destiny and their life purpose. They're discovering who they are. It's a journey of self-discovery, which I feel will lead them to you. All right, so your person is going on a journey of self-discovery right now. Now, in regards to their next action towards you, what cards? Okay, this one and this one. Ooh, okay, that one flipped out. I'm actually just going to leave this unflipped. Okay, that's passionate. They are very attracted to you, Pile 1. It seems like your sex appeal draws them in, it says. So their action is going to be a sexual connection with you where they are attracted to you. Oh, wow. Okay, that one flipped out as well. That says submit yourself to me. So I feel that your person is going to try to sexually seduce you. That is, I feel, part of their next action. Oh, yes. Okay. All right. So lots of stuff came out here. I'm going to organize it and then go through it all. Okay. So, okay. Yes. Oh. Oh, yes. So much. Okay. And here. Yes. Alrighty. So your person has a tendency to come in and out of your life. I get with the disappearing acts, I feel like your person has come in and out. I feel like there are time periods where they leave, where they disappear, where they come in and then they go. So I feel like your person's disappearing acts card is that their next action is that if they have been withdrawn from you, they are coming back in, because with your sex appeal draws me in, and with submit yourself to me, these cards that show up, I do feel that your person is going to try to come back in from sort of a low contact or no contact space, and they're going to be really, really wanting to come on, probably a little strong when it comes to their passion. I don't feel that they're going to be like violating you or doing anything bad, but I feel like that they're going to come in like passionate, and I feel like they might come out flirty right out the gate, like the first communication you guys have with each other, maybe just like flirty immediately. So there is this. I do feel that they're very attracted to you, and they're probably going to lead with their sexuality. So that is very interesting. And I feel like they may even be dominating, because I get with submit yourself to me, I feel like they're going to want to take charge of the conversation. And I feel like that they are going to maybe even take action on your sexual connection. Especially with this sacral and root chakra crystal going on. So I've heard rumors about you. I'm not sure what to believe. Somebody's person's a little jealous. So I feel like that your person may be a little worried or insecure that you're moving on, that you're with somebody else, and or maybe they've heard rumors about you from other people, and or I feel like your person also may have seen stuff on your social media that is making them nervous and has been igniting their pursuit mode, their competition mode. So there is this. And cozying up to one another, and I've envisioned marriage with you. So I do feel like that your person definitely also wants to be physically close to you. They may ask you on a date. They might want to see you in person. They might plan a date. They might plan a seduction consensually. And I do feel like that, yeah, your person is definitely going to want to snuggle with you, hold you, hug you, make love to you, all that. Or at least fool around with you if you're not, in a space where you guys are at that actual stage of it yet. And then I've envisioned marriage with you. So I also feel like this is not a purely sexual connection. So there's a lot of passionate energy and cards coming in. But I also wanted to clarify that this is a romantic energy, because with them seeing off into the future about being with you in a marriage, I feel like that they definitely feel like this could go somewhere. But I also feel like their sabotaging nature or their challenge or their problem is just how they do kind of come in and then they leave, or they come in and then they ghost, or they come in and then they disappear. And so that is a challenge that your person has as a pattern, and they're going to need to fix it. So we'll see if they do fix that pattern. Because, they're coming in strong, but your person also has a tendency to sometimes leave quickly. So there is that. I get you stand apart from the rest. So you've gotten their attention, and absolutely you have shown yourself to be somebody that is highly desired. So they know that you are a desirable person. They know that you have a lot of people probably that would love to be with you. And it seems like, or at least that's what they think, even if you feel like, gee, my DMs are like so dry right now. You definitely have gotten their attention, and they feel that you are highly in demand. And my home is wherever you are. So there's a lot of cards that come up that are also like cozy domestic love, and then other cards that are like passionate. So I'm going to even put them in this section. So I get that these cards are all the cozy ones. This one is their challenge. These are the sexually passionate ones. The rumors, and you stand above the rest. This is kind of in the middle here. So I'm getting that this is like love. This is passion. Too many burdens to carry. That's kind of disappearing acts here. So where with this, I get that your person might feel like it's just been so hard to juggle their schedule. Maybe why they keep disappearing is because it's too much of a burden for them. Their life, there's a lot going on. So I feel like they may feel like it's just hard for them to really be able to do everything they want to do. And I get hidden agenda. So I do feel like that your person is trying to come up with a plan. The word that came to my mind was scheme. They're trying to scheme or strategize. They're trying to come up with a plan right now. So I feel like that this is also very interesting. So yes, your person is a little secretive. They are coming in passionate. They have had periods of time where they withdraw and then they resurface. They definitely are in a action-oriented mode at the moment. And they also feel all of this beautiful romantic love or cozy energy, very like wanting to be close to you, snuggle up to you, all of that. So yeah, your person is very interesting in this energy here. Now I'm going to look at the tarot and see what's going on in this connection in a little bit of a deeper way, and also look deeper into their next action with you. So with this Twin Flame Journey Tarot, I will also do reversals, and we will just get, yeah, I'll do it quick with the relationship part because I want to know more about their next action. So what I will do is I'll do this. We're going to do one card for how you're thinking and feeling about them and this energy and this connection. One card about how they're currently, well, three cards for how they're going through, because we do want more information from them. So how they're feeling right now. And this will be like maybe the action that they might take in the next, say, maybe week to 2 weeks. This will be what's happened already in the past. We'll do 2 cards. We'll see kind of like what's gone on in the past. We're going to do 3 cards for what their next action might be in the next 3 months. And then we're going to do a card about maybe what their action might be farther than that long term. So this is 1 to 2 weeks. This is 3 months. This is longer than 3 months. All right, so how you're thinking and feeling, and it is in reverse. I get the 3 of Wands, which is awaiting results. You are a little fed up, maybe. Maybe you are poking at your person or provoking them on purpose. I do get with the 3 of Wands, awaiting results. You're not waiting for any results anymore. I feel like for you, you're kind of had it maybe, and it seems like maybe you're walking away, and that's another reason why they are coming forward. You have been wanting to travel to see your person if this is long distance, or maybe if they've just been disappearing, you've been wanting to reunite with them and reconcile in a strong way. But it seems like since it hasn't happened yet, or it's been discouraging for you, that you've been feeling like, you know what, I don't want to wait anymore. I'm not waiting for my person anymore. I'm just moving forward with my life and doing myself. With your person, in the next few weeks, so next week to 2 weeks, I see all of their cards are reversed. They are not a happy camper. I get the 10 of Cups in reverse, which is contentment and joy. So first off, I feel like they're not very happy right now, and they're still in kind of like a depressed state. I feel like that their mood and their emotions are in a difficult way. I get the 5 of Swords, mind games and control. I feel like on this side, I feel like they're actually not going to do mind games. If they've been having a hidden agenda, I feel like they're going to come clean. And if they've been strategizing about something, I feel like they will be open with you. I feel like they're going to be honest with you, and they're going to try to drop any pretenses, and they're going to be very forthcoming, which is great, actually. I feel like they're going to try to let go of the control they're trying to have in this connection, and they're just trying to be open and authentic with you. Wow, they are going to try to reschedule their life so that they can have more time for you. Because you know we got the too many burdens to carry. I have to show you this card. Literally on the bottom of it, it says heavy burdens. But you got it for your person in reverse. So your person is actually going to release and let go some of the heavy burdens in their life so they can have more time for you. So that is amazing. So they're not going to try to play any games. They're depressed and sad, but they are also going to try to prioritize you more and let go of anything in their life that has been really too much. So that's fantastic. So that seems like forward motion. And I love that a lot, especially if the disappearing acts is because they're too busy, legitimately. So that is great. And that's in the next week to 2 weeks. So between like today and 2 weeks from now. So that's near, very immediate future. In the past, I do get, and actually I feel like these were, I don't know if they're reversed or not, but they're looking upright to me. I'm just going to take them this way. I get the Two of Wands, planning and decisions. I get the sexuality card. So that's very Jasper, very sacral chakra, root chakra. So in the past, I get planning and decisions. I also get that in the past, you guys have been planning. You guys have been trying to make plans to see each other, or planning and making plans. I get the decisions card. It seems like you guys have been really trying to make some choices about this connection. And also, I feel like there was a lot of sexual passion with this connection, because I always look at Two of Wands as that. I had a deck once that showed that, and so I always look at that meaning when I come to these cards. Even if other tarot cards don't incorporate it in, I always do. And then I get Nine of Wands, trials and tribulations. So in the past, you guys have gone through the ringer. I feel like you guys have gone through a battle. You guys have gone through a struggle, maybe a power struggle, maybe actual trials. Maybe it's just felt like a trial between the two of you. But it's been very interesting, actually, with the Nine of Wands and the planning and decisions. It seems like the hard times, though, are over. And so with the Nine of Wands being this battle that's been hard, I do feel that that battle is over, and so that is helpful. But their actions in the next 3 months, they're all in reverse. So I get the Seven of Cups, fantasy. This is great. Fantasy and temptation. I feel like in the next few months, they're going to take action in order to make this relationship or connection tangible. Because the Seven of Cups is usually the card about just having something as a fantasy, just having something as a temptation, but not really having anything concrete and solid. But with it in reverse, I feel like they're going to make the fantasy a reality, and they're going to try to make something very solid and tangible in this connection with you. But what is interesting is it seems like both of you still might be out of alignment or still having a tough time in your lives individually. But I also see you guys feeling united as a couple, or united as a team. And the reason why is because I'm getting this energy. So I'm getting King of Cups, which is interesting when we got the moon on the back of the Alchemist, because King of Cups energy is usually a water sign man. It represents a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer energy. And what's interesting here is I get the Queen of Swords, which is a feminine energy. And the Queen of Swords is usually Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. So it's an interesting dynamic because you got both of them in reverse. So I feel like they are still going through a tough time. You are going through a tough time, but you show up united and you show up together. So I see this as you guys are going through tough lives, but I feel like that you guys are really, you have each other's back and you're really supportive of each other and you're really united. And the togetherness is what I see as important, because I feel like we can get through challenges when we have support and when we have, you know, our person with us by our side. And of course we can do it alone, but when we have that support, it just makes it a little sweeter, you know? So your person is filled with love with the King of Cups, but they might not be expressing it, but they're showing up. And for you, you have this very strong intellect and you have all this communication, but you might not be communicating or expressing yourself very well because you're also in reverse. So your person has unexpressed love, you have unexpressed thoughts, and you're showing up together. So you're still uniting, but it is tricky. So I do show that, at least in the next few months. So probably between, you know, now and, you know, the winter. This is upright. Look at this Lover's card, you guys, for beyond 3 months' time. Your person takes action on this love, and this is absolutely beautiful. Even on the card, it says twin flame connection. So beyond 3 months from now, I feel like your person really steps up. So I feel like part of the reason why they're just not able to come through for you right now is really because your person is so busy and they need to put these heavy burdens down. So that is something that's helpful and that's happening. And then that's going to lead to being able to make things more tangible and concrete for you, where you guys are united. Even if you're still taking baby steps and not expressing yourselves to each other, I feel like you guys have gone through a lot. So I feel like that this connection can feel a little like, you guys might be feeling kind of worn down. But with the Lover's card at the end, that is so magical. I love that so much. All right, let's look a little bit more about their next action with you. So what would they say to you next as their next action? Let me look at Hermit Tarot. Wow. Okay. So, for your person expressing themselves, oh. All right, so your person might express their sadness. They might express their hurt feelings. So I don't want to lose you. So your person, I do feel, would tell you that. I feel like your person would tell you how important you are to them and how they don't want to lose you. I feel like they don't really want to be completely out of your life, even if they have to disappear from time to time. But I do feel like they don't want to lose you. But I can't even look at you right now. So there might be something in this connection where these rumors that they've been hearing may have been hurting your person. Maybe they feel like they can't look at you because it's painful. Maybe they feel like they can't look at you because they're busy. But it seems like maybe they can't face you. Maybe it's that they can't be in person with you. But they said maybe they're like, I can't see you right now, but I don't want to lose you, and you're so important to me, even if we can't be together, even if we can't see each other in person, even if I can't be face-to-face with you. Maybe they can't do a video call. Maybe they can't travel to you. Maybe they can't show up in person. Maybe they can't come to your house. So it seems kind of like that. But what's interesting is they're not ready for a fresh start with you, and they might tell you they're not ready. Because I want a fresh start with you comes out in reverse. So I do feel that maybe they want to clear up a miscommunication, but I also feel like they're not really ready to progress this connection right now. But I do feel like ultimately they take action on it with the lovers. But right now, I feel like they're not able to have a fresh start with you immediately. And that also might be a reason why you're kind of like, well, I'm not waiting around anymore. And that is okay. But they're not really able to have a fresh start with you right now, though. All right, so what would they... All right, I want to see Pink Divine Love Oracle. What is their next action? So, what is your person's next action in regards to you, pile 1? Oh, I love this. Love, new door to experience love. So I do feel like they are going to try to open this door. They may not be ready to have a fresh start with you when they tell you this, but I do feel like their action is that they're probably going to try to create an opportunity for you two together. So I do feel like they're going to try to plan an opportunity, even if they're telling you, I'm not ready to, move forward or have a fresh start. Options, multiple options, many opportunities available. And wise, think smart, take your time. This is so cute. Oh my God, I love these cards. Okay, so I get options. So I feel like your person is trying to give you a couple of options. I feel like they're going to try to give you some choices. Maybe they're going to ask you, oh, what do you want to do? Do you want to, do this thing? Do you want to do that thing? Do you want to talk on the phone? Do you want to text? Do you want... Maybe not this week, but maybe in a few weeks, do you want to watch a movie? Do you want to get together? So more something like that. So it's a very interesting dynamic. So I do feel like that your person is trying to open up a new door to experience love with you by giving you multiple options, choices, or opportunities. And they're trying to give you this. And that's interesting is actually, this is a very 7 of Cups energy. So this is interesting. That might be that they are right now strategizing. Think smart, take your time, be wise, where they're trying with their hidden agenda to try to create an opportunity for you where you guys can come together. And that's where this kind of 7 of Cups energy starts to solidify in, and they're able to take action on it in this next 3-month window. So it might be that right now, a lot of these actions are based upon times and time frames regarding their busy life and your busy life. So that is very interesting. Okay. So I feel like a lot of these messages are like they may not do it right away, but they will do it. Or they may not tell you they're doing it, but they're trying to set it up. And that's a lot of the messages for you guys. What are some other next actions from your person? Pile 1. Pile 1's person. And this one. Okay. Affectionate, lovey-dovey, passionate PDA. Well, we did get a ton of passion. So your person might be very passionate or lovey-dovey or romantic to you. So I do feel like they are going to try to compensate for any scary situation they've gone through where they feel like they could lose you. So I do feel like they're going to try to compensate for that or make up for it. Then I get slipping. Time to confront issues, make a move. So I do feel like your person actually is starting to get their bravery together so that they can confront some issues in this connection. And I love make a move. So their next action is they're definitely going to be making a move on you. And yeah, they are in pain. So I get rainy days, painful feelings, tears of sadness. So I feel like this is in the next few days for you, like within the next few days. And the reason why I say that is because I know that for us, where I live right now, we're going to have a rainy 3 days coming up tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I feel that this is kind of, to me, telling me the next 3 rainy days, and I live in LA where there's never any rain. The next 3 days, I feel like that this is when this, are the rainy days. And this is where the time frame, to me, it tells me. So painful feeling, tears of sadness. I feel like your person is going to be pretty sad over the next 3 days, but I feel like they might open up to you and make a move in this next 3-day kind of time period and be very lovey-dovey with you. So that is what I have for you with this deck. And now I'm going to get one final deck to see what their next move will be towards you. Let's see. I'm going to do the Twin Flame Guidance Oracle. All right. So what is pile one's person's next move towards them? When I have a final question too. I'm just thinking of it. Okay. Ah, look at this. Number 1, they might give you flowers. Number 2, I love where it says return. So I do feel like your person is going to return to you, and I feel like they might give you an offering, an apology. They might give you flowers. They may talk about flowers. I do feel like that this is a very beautiful thing. If you got flowers from somebody else, that might be a catalyst for them returning. Very interesting. I get patience. So your person is going to be patient in regards to their strategy of making moves towards you. So that is good. If they have to wait because you guys are busy, they might be patient. They also might be patiently waiting for you to be free. And I get awakening. So I do feel like your person is also getting epiphanies and downloads and breakthroughs in regards to this relationship or this connection. So I do feel like they are growing, they are awakening and evolving. So my final question, what I was thinking when I was shuffling this deck that I want to see is I do want to know what internal work are they going through right now? What action are they taking internally to prepare them to be able to connect with you? And actually, I'm going to take the Alchemist Tarot for that because that's what I'm guided to take. What internal work? Ooh, and I'm going to do this one too. Okay. 3 cards for what internal work is your person doing in order to be able to unite with you or progress this connection with you at some point. Also, what are they doing internally with the Untold Truths of the Heart Oracle? So what are they working through on like a self-development, self-growth level in regards to benefiting this connection? 1, 2, 3. I like it. Okay. So we have Untold Truths of the Heart Oracle. Yes. Okay. They are really working through this disappearing acts part. The time where they're drifting, the time where you're frozen in time, that is something they are fixing right now internally so that they can be with you. That's really like that we saw with that heavy burdens being released. So that is fantastic. So just to show you kind of to start that really this is that with the frozen, with the drifting, that your person right now, really, they're working through their blocks and their obstacles in this connection in regards to when you guys have silence, when you guys have stillness, and when you guys aren't talking, when you guys have no words. And with this one, when you have slowly parting, disconnecting, detaching. So they know that sometimes they freeze, they drift, they disappear, they move away, and they don't talk, and they're drifting, and they're parting, and they're doing all these things that are probably making you really fed up. And it's beautiful because I feel like the internal self-growth that they're doing is they're working through this part. Now, with this energy, upheaval, shock, the unexpected, trouble. They are doing a lot of self-growth, a lot of self-work. One, I feel like they're going to try to feel stable during time periods of change. And that's going to make them feel safer to make changes in their own self and in their own life in order to be with you. Two, I feel like that this is actually, there is a tower moment that is going on within them right now that is making them do some inner growth and inner work. So your person is growing and stretching, and that is very, very helpful in order to progress this connection along. Now I get Knight of Coins. Okay, so in regards to like what they're working on internally is they are working on how they have to go so slow, because this Knight of Coins is usually about making tiny steps moving forward, progressing this connection. But it's in reverse. So I feel like your person has sometimes, again, this is when they're not just progressing, walking slowly, they're stopped. And so they're realizing they can't just stop. They can't just, you know, not do anything. They just can't be immobile, basically, paralyzed. So the Knight of Coins, as they're working through it, this is another card of frozen, another card of drifting, that kind of energy. They're realizing they can't be so inattentive. They can't be so stuck and stagnant. They're also realizing they can't go time periods without talking to you. So the Ace of Swords is usually a card of communication. And with this in reverse, they're realizing I can't go time periods without talking to pile one. I can't be a non-expressive person. I can't not communicate to pile one. So this is absolutely beautiful because they're having this realization and they're doing the self-internal work where their next action on themselves is they're realizing like they just can't go time periods without talking to you. They can't go time periods with being stuck and not moving forward and feeling stagnant or just kind of, you know, disappearing. And then I love this, Nine of Swords. They're also needing to do some work on their worst case scenarios, their fears, their negative self-talk, their own minds of anxieties. They are realizing they need to work on this because this is in reverse. They need to free themselves from this mental prison that they're trapped in. So they also have to work on their like panicking. So that is good, you guys. I feel like your person is doing a lot of work and a lot of progress in regards to you, in regards to themselves, in regards to you. And that is great. And I do feel like you will be very happy with your person's next action towards you. So that is what I have for you. I hope you guys have a lovely day. I hope you guys have had a good Thanksgiving. And I'm excited to show you all of my winter videos next month in December. So stay tuned. If you feel like this was not your situation or your scenario with your person and it didn't resonate with you, feel free to pick another pile or another video. And if you liked it, I'd love for you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. Feel free to share, tell your friends. And I love reading for you guys. I know that I'm recording these December videos coming up with a plan in mind, but I have all the videos in January to release and I don't have topics committed yet. So if you guys have a particular situation that you want for me to channel for you about your connection, feel free to leave it in the description box. Or if you want me to do more videos in regards to who is coming in for you for love, who is new. I've been doing some shorts about it. I've been doing some video. I did a video this November about it. So if you want to know about new people coming in, because your person's just frustrating you, feel free to leave that in the comments and I will. All right, you guys, I'm here for you if you need me. I will talk to you guys later. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading today where we are focusing on what is your person's next action. So what is their next action going to be with you? What are they going to do? What moves are they going to make? And you guys have picked a couple of cool objects. You have picked this amazing book by Neil Donald Walsh called Conversations with God. This is a very cool book because as part of my Sagittarius November book series this month, I really like this book because this was a book that really helped me when I started getting into like psychic work and channeling. This was definitely one of my kind of books that I read to really help work through anything. If you've been feeling like working through shame or anything in regards of like judgment or having like a harsh inner critic, this book really helps with that. And it also helps with being able to kind of embrace like a spirituality in a way that I find is very loving and very healing. Especially if you or your person may have spiritual or religious trauma. I feel like this helps with this. I feel like that can help a lot. I feel like that how this pertains to your person's next action is I feel like they might be getting more spiritual. I feel like the whole kind of sign of Sagittarius month that we're in right now is really a time period where we do get very spiritual, very philosophical. We can really think about concepts and philosophies and, you know, really think about things. So I feel like your person might be going through a lot of inner growth as well. And if your person is dealing a lot with shame, self-judgment, or limitations mentally, I feel like that this pile might really pertain to them. Just because that book is really very helpful and I feel like it's transformative. Now, I'm not sure what you or your person's spiritual beliefs are, and I'm definitely not one to project spiritual beliefs onto them. I just feel like this book, to me, was really impactful. And for me, my spirituality is always kind of, you know, it's always trying to figure itself out as we go along. So it's very interesting. I feel like what I believe now is different than what I believed when I was younger. And then when I was a teenager, it was different than that. So I feel like our spiritualities kind of morph and change as we grow and as we go along life. So I also have this beautiful agate moon that is so gorgeous. So I feel like for you and your person, it's interesting how pile 1 also got the moon on the back of their Alchemist book. And so if you've also been attracted to pile 1, there might be some messages in there for you. But I also feel with the moon, you or your person might be ruled by the moon. So maybe a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces energy. So there is this. I'm going to put this in frame for you so you can see it. And you guys picked for your deck to start off the Hermit Oracle. So the Hermit Tarot Oracle deck is very cool. So this is what they would say to you right now. So I feel like your next person's action is they're going to have a talk. They're going to have a conversation with you. This is all about what they would say. So I feel like their next action is they're going to contact you and you guys are going to have a talk about things. So what would pile 2's person say to them as their next action? Okay, they're not quite ready to talk, but they are getting more ready because I'm getting a card that says yes and no. So I'm getting yeah, nah. So I get that your person is like, yeah, no, yes, no. So they're a little bit back and forth. They're a little not sure what they want to say maybe. They're not quite ready. But I feel like their next action is when they do get ready, they will act on it. Because I do get the card that says I'm ready. So they're not sure if they're ready to talk. But when they are, they will. So I do feel like they're trying to, their next action is internal, where they're trying to get together the confidence or the bravery or the readiness to talk. So that is very cool. I also get, I'm too afraid to talk, no way! Okay, sorry, I just love when there's confirmation. Okay, that's cool. They're too afraid to talk to you right now and they're trying to get the bravery together and that's why they're on the fence about it and they go back and forth about it. And what's interesting, this is conversations with God. Okay, I love how everything comes together. Oh my gosh. Okay, so your person's getting ready to have a conversation with you. This is a communication pile. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. I mean, this stuff just always blows me away too. Okay, so I'm too afraid to talk. So awesome. They're working through that block. And I get, sometimes I wonder if you care. So I think that might be afraid to talk to you because they're afraid maybe of being rejected, of maybe you not liking them or not being on the same page as them, or maybe they feel like you've lost interest, or maybe some time has passed where you guys haven't talked a lot and they're not sure if you still like them. So this is fascinating. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, cool. So loving that they're working through this block. They need to. Now, I'm open to compromise. Okay, you guys. Yeah, you guys are getting similar messages to pile 1. Actually, it's interesting. There totally probably is messages in that pile for you. But it's interesting because they are open to compromise. So I do feel like that they are trying to compromise in regards to this. If there was something that you've been really, is important value for you, or it's an important boundary you have, or if it's a certain need that you have, I feel like they're going to try to see if they can honor that or meet that in some way. And I feel like if you guys have been too far apart on what you want, I feel like they're going to try to see if you guys can come closer together in regards to maybe fulfilling what the other person needs, or do something the other person needs. So I feel like they're going to try to compromise with you in some way. You have so many choices and options. I feel like they're a little nervous that maybe sometimes I wonder if you care. There might be a little nervous that maybe you'll run off with somebody else, or that you have a lot of options in your life and maybe they don't, or maybe they feel like you have the choice is yours. I do get that they dream about you though. So the next action that might happen in this connection is they might actually have a transformative dream about you. So with this, I think this is very good and very cool. So they dream about you a lot, and even on the card it says too much. So they may dream about you too much. They might dream about you a lot. It might be a very powerful dream where they wake up and they're like, oh my gosh, I just feel all these feelings. I just don't know what to make of it. I just feel like, gosh, that just really hit me so strongly. Maybe I need to take action. Maybe their next action will be shown to them in a dream. So that's amazing. Or maybe the dream will be what gives them the bravery or the confidence to talk to you. So that's interesting. Okay, so that is awesome. Now I want to see a little bit about this connection and their next action with the tarot. So I have the Botticelli tarot deck right here. And what's cool about this is it's Botticelli's paintings that are broken down into the tarot meanings, which I like. And I like that it's gilded in gold, which is very beautiful. So I see we're going to do one card for you, how you're thinking and feeling about your person right now and your experience about what you're going through with this connection. And then we have 3 cards for them, which is going to be what are their next actions within the next week to 2 weeks of time. So between now and 2 weeks of time. So this is like a very, very short, quick kind of future, like what they're going to do more immediately. This card, I have 2 cards for the past, what has happened already between the 2 of you to make you guys get to where you are now. I have 3 cards for the next 3 months coming up. So we have 3 action steps, what their next action will be in these next 3 months, and then a card for a longer term outcome, what their action step will be towards you down the road. So let's see. I do get the 4 of coins. So you're wanting to hold on to your person and this connection. And I feel like you might be a little nervous or worried. Like, how do you hold on to your person? I feel like that you're not ready to let your person go and you're really wanting to hold on to them and make it work. But I also get that maybe you're not ready to talk either. I'm getting maybe you're a little closed off or self-protective right now, or maybe you don't want to make the first move. And it seems like right now, maybe that's where you're keeping your cards to your chest. You're kind of keeping what you think to yourself. And you're not really letting your person know too much. That's why a conversation is important. Okay, cool. Your person is sad, but they are healing. And I feel like your person is starting to come out of this sadness and they're starting to become more brave. So in the next week to 2 weeks, so in the next 2 weeks of time, I do get the 5 of Cups, which if you see it upright, your person is sad, looking at the ground. And so with this connection, it's interesting because I get with it in reverse, I feel they're coming out of the sadness. They're starting to cheer up. They're starting to become more ready. So this is actually a very good sign. And I get that they're aware that you've pulled back and are not talking. So I get the Queen of Swords and I get it in reverse. So they're aware that you're not talking right now, or that your communication is, you've probably gone silent. So there is that. So the Queen of Swords is they're realizing that you're not talking and you've pulled back. And I feel like that's a little bit of a motivation for them to come forward. Now, they are not done with something that they're struggling with in their life. So the 9 of Wands is usually the card of like the battle is over. But because it's in reverse, I feel like your person is still battling. Your person is still struggling. They're still going through a tough time. It might be what's connected to this sadness here that they're trying to emerge out of. But it does seem like that your person feels like what they're going through in their life separate from you has been really getting them down and has been difficult. So they're still going through a tough time. Then I see in this connection in the past. Wow, you guys, check this out. All right. Look what you guys got. You guys got the moon together. So that's a very beautiful kind of confirmation here. So in the past, I feel like your person has been very confused. I feel like that they're starting to they've gotten some clarity, and that is helpful. And they've started to, again, release the sadness or release some of the emotions that were overly emotional for them, or that were triggering them, or if they were flooded with their emotions, that they were releasing that. So that is actually really, really positive and helpful. And I like the 9 of Cups, because it seems like they were able to make some of their dreams come true in their past, and they also may have realized that you also are one of their dreams come true. So I think that this is also very important. Now I get for what action steps they will take within the next 3 months. So good. Okay. So they have kind of like this kind of tough start, but I feel like they're going to try to make it happen. So the Ace of Fire is like what their next action is they're going to be impulsive. And it's like they're kind of feeling like they've been needing to build up their courage. And then it's kind of like, you know, those scenarios where like maybe you're with your girlfriend at the restaurant and you're like, gosh, you know, I just need to send this message, but I'm just not ready. And your friend's like, send, and like does it for you. Or you're just like, all right, you know what, I'm just doing it. You know, so it's like, I feel like they're just kind of going to be impulsively just like acting on it. Like they're trying to get up their bravery, and then they'll just take one, like, yes, that's it. So I feel like your person is going to try to take a leap of faith and take a risk. But what's interesting is then I feel like they might freak out a bit and they might pull back and not communicate, because the Knight of Swords, which is usually about rushing in and communicating, is in reverse. So I feel like your person may be like a little chicken, where I feel like they impulsively act and then they pull back and they freak out a bit. And then I feel like that their action is they withdraw and then they close up and they don't communicate. And then they come out of hiding with the Hermit in reverse. So the next action after that is I feel like they're in hiding, but then they come out of hiding with the Hermit. Like they realize like they're hiding, and then they're like, is a bomb going to go off? And then like no bomb goes off, and they kind of like peek their head out and they're like, are we okay? And then they move their body out and they're like, are you all good? And then you can walk out in the front and be like, oh, it's over. Okay, nothing bad happened. So I think they kind of freak out because they freak themselves out. But then they're realizing like, oh, okay, that bad thing I was worried about happening didn't happen, so I'm okay. Okay. So I feel like they're kind of like that. So yeah, so the Hermit, I feel like, is they're coming out of it. So in reverse. So that's good. So then they come out of their hiding space. And then long term down the future, I feel like after 3 months, they're going to try to make you a very solid, tangible love offer with the Ace of Coins upright. So that's what's great. And I almost feel like, look at these beautiful angels on the card. Almost kind of like the universe helps them out to like give them this courage and bravery to kind of step forward for you. So that is something that's really magical and very, very cool. So your person definitely is trying. So I like this a lot. And let's see here. With your person's next action, I'm going to go to Let's Fall in Love Oracle. I want to see what would they say to you if they could, since conversations are so important between the two of you right now. So what are they thinking, and what would they say to you if all blocks were removed? Because we know they're hiding, we know they're scared, we know they're trying to gain courage and confidence to talk with you. Ooh, how sexy you are. Too many burdens. Okay, literally, these are very similar cards to pile 1. You guys really may want to watch pile 1 as well, if you feel connected to it. Or maybe you're here from pile 1. Maybe you're here from pile 1 and you're like, yeah, that didn't resonate, but like all the cards are the same. And maybe you need to think about that. All right. Okay. Yes. Yeah, your person has a fear of rejection. They have some nerves and social anxiety, maybe. Oh. Yeah, okay. So this is interesting. We'll do one more. Yes. Okay. So they are coming out of the confusion right now. So I get clouded in confusion, and that's that moon, and you got the agate moon, you got the moon card. It's So that's interesting. So I feel like your person has been, clouded in confusion, but they're coming out, they're getting clarity. And the thing is also, they might try to confuse you, or they may be acting confusing, because I worry you won't let me in. And on this card, there's like a slammed shut door, probably locked, big and heavy. And so I think they're worried that like you won't let them in, especially because probably you aren't communicating to them either. And I think they're also kind of trying to like confuse you on purpose, maybe a little, because I'm afraid to let you see the real me. So I get that like they're scared that maybe if you were to see the real them, that you wouldn't want to let them in and that you wouldn't like them. So I feel like there may be like a little imposter syndrome going on. There may be a little insecurity or low self-esteem going on, but it does seem like very interesting here. And then I want to grow old with you. So I do feel like that your person is very, very connected with you. Like I feel like you guys have a strong emotional bond, and I feel like they are very futuristic, and they think about the future, and they think about how they want to like have you in their lives for a long time. But they feel like they've really messed up with I've made a mess of things. So I feel like they think that they've really made a mistake, or they've really messed up in this connection. And then I feel like that messing up is like a big burden on them. So I feel like this is weighing on them. And that might be where this book about like helping get rid of shame is, and judgment and self-judgment is important for this pile, because I'm getting that there's like too many burdens to carry with this card. And so I feel like that their self-judgment for making a mistake in this connection, or maybe they're afraid they will make a mistake and they judge themselves for that, or they judge themselves for the times they've messed up in other connections, and they're like, oh gosh, I don't want to do that again. I could just imagine myself doing that again, and then this person won't like me like the other person didn't like me, and then they wrap themselves all up in this anxiety. So I feel like that their anxiety is too heavy to carry, or that it's a burden on them, it's burdening them. So that's interesting. I get charming you off your feet, and your sex appeal draws me in. So they see that you're really sexy and attractive and hot. And I feel like they just have this fantasy in their mind where they're like, I want to charm pile 2 so they really like me. But I also get that they're worried about not liking them. And I feel like they also may get nervous around you when, they're really attracted to you. So I do feel like that this is a very interesting kind of dynamic in this connection and in this pile. Now, let's see. I'm going to go to the Pink Love Oracle. I want to see what action they will take towards you next. So, what will pile 2's person action steps be towards pile 2? What will pile 2's person do? Stubborn, hard-headed, talking to a brick wall. Starting fresh, new chapter, clean slate, starting over. I feel like they're very determined to have a fresh start with you, but I also feel like their own anxieties kind of make them have very rigid beliefs about failure. And I feel like that's the stubbornness. I feel like their negative beliefs are stubborn and making them and keeping them trapped in kind of this like locked up box in a way. But you are a gem. No one compares to you, unique, and celebrations, good times together. So that is very, very cool. So I like it. And then I get Cloud 9 and the Lovers. Okay. So I feel like it's probably like when you do let them in and then they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And they're like celebrating and doing a happy dance and stuff like that. So I get stubborn. So I see how your person is really trapped in their own like negativity and their own wall. It's like they're walling themselves off. But I do get that their action is that they break free past that. I feel like they're taking action to start fresh with you, which is very good. So I like that they start over. I like that they want a fresh start. They want a clean slate. I like they want a new chapter. Because the thing is like you really are magnetic to them. So with the you are a gem, I feel like that you really are very attractive. You're magnetic to them. I get nobody compares to you, that you're very unique, and that's very attractive. So I feel like they think that you're very special, and that's awesome. And then I get these cards together, which is like, they are so happy. So I get good times and get-togethers. So you guys might see each other in person, actually. If you or they have a birthday soon, they may celebrate with you. It might be also they try to celebrate the holidays with you, or there's like a holiday party you guys can go to, or this sort of thing, or even like New Year's Eve, you know? So that's very cool. So good times, get-togethers. So I like this a lot. And then I get the lovers, you're my jam, close bonds, and friends. So I do feel like they're really going to try to deepen the friendship so they can get over their anxiety. And I get close bond that they have with you. They know that you guys are very connected. And I feel like they're going to try to take action on that. And then cloud 9, which is bliss of happiness and seems like a dream. So that's also very, very beautiful. So I like this a lot for you guys. I think that this is very helpful. I hope that you guys are still able to see the cards. I know that the sun has shifted now that we have fall back hours, and the sun will set at like 4, so the sun only comes through this window till like 2. So it doesn't really give me many hours to film these videos now that we're getting into like later months, but at least it makes this crystal look pretty. So I'll try to do this as long as I can, and then maybe I'll just have to set my alarm and get up earlier. So let's see here. What are their next actions towards you? I'm going to see with this Twin Flame Guidance Oracle deck. I want to see what is Pisces person's next actions towards them. So what is their next actions? Ooh, they are inspired. Oh my gosh, your person, if they are very creative, you are inspiring them to create art about you. This is so sexy. Oh my gosh, look at this. You guys get the muse. So yeah, their next action is maybe they write you a poem or a love letter or a song or draw you a picture or a painting or like something. They might create something for you. Now, their next action is maybe they're going to be too shy to show you. They may not let you in. Maybe they just post it on their social media and they're like, oh, here's this song that I made and it's about you, but like they don't say it's about you or they don't show you directly. But you may notice some of their creativity if they post about it, or they may make a video about it, or they may do something on a story. So a TikTok or a short or like a whatever. So it's interesting with the muse. You make them creative and they make some art about you. They may or may not show you. And pause, yeah. So they may not want to reveal that it's about you or tell you, but I feel like their next action is that you're inspiring them. So that is very, very cool. But with the pause, I feel like they are not wanting to like jump right in right away. They are hesitating, and I feel like they will open up about it, but they are hesitating. And then I get inner child, so that's very cool. So with the inner child card, I feel like, yeah, they're very, very much wanting to move forward here, and that's awesome. So I do feel like that when you're together, their inner child is really just like, you know, creative. It's inspired, it's happy. And when they're with you, they really celebrate. They're on cloud 9, you know, they feel all these feelings. So it's very good. But I also feel like that, you know, children can be shy. Children can be in the corner. Children can feel not mature as adults. So there is that. But it's so interesting, even on the pause card I'm looking. So look at the muse and look at pause. So on pause, look at that. He has a little, what is that, a ukulele? So he has like a little musical instrument, probably a ukulele. And then there's sheet music on muse. So I think that's very interesting here. So I'm loving this connection between you guys. And then, oh, I get devotion. So I feel like your person's very devoted to you. And I feel like if somebody were to say anything bad about you, they would stand up for you. But I also feel like their next action is that they're not going to like go off with any other people. So I feel like they are very devoted to you, and their next action is maybe they turn down other offers if there are, or maybe they just aren't interested in taking action on others. So their action is to stay put. And then I get lessons. So I also feel like that with your person, that your person is definitely learning a lot of lessons. They're having some internal growth, and they're having some internal shifts and changes in regards to you and in regards to your connection. So you're basically teaching them a lot. So that is cool. Then I get understanding. So yeah, these lessons are helping your person understand themselves more and understand you. And when that is happening, then I feel like they're going to be able to take action on it. I get refocus. So I feel like your person's next action is they're refocusing on you. And I feel like they're really trying, if they have been focused on other things, that they're coming back. And I feel like if your person has been lost, that they refocus on you and surrender. And I feel like your person really wants to reunite with you and connect with you. So I feel like they're going to surrender to whatever's been holding them back. And then let's get some final messages for you. So I have some Untold Truth of the Heart Oracle. I want to see your person's next actions with this deck. So what is your person's next action? Ooh, tension, turbulence, arguments, stress, unspoken consequences. Wow. Okay. So I feel that this is interesting. So I feel like if there's been tension in this connection, that they are not speaking about it. So they're not telling you about their worries, insecurities, fears, anxieties. So I think that's very, very interesting. I'm also getting with the unspoken card. So I feel like that's, again, you know, like a confirmation, again, about them working through needing to speak up with you, needing to be like outspoken and connect with you in this way. And then I get consequences. So I do feel like that, yeah, your person is really trying to, I feel like they're really trying to put their destiny into motion with you. It says karma, destiny, cause, and effect. So I feel that your person is also going through this realization right now. They're realizing that this tension in this connection of not speaking is creating some consequences that they don't like. So they're definitely going to have to be like working through this so that you guys can really come together. So that is what I have for you, pile 2. I apologize about, you know, the sun coming in, but maybe that's a good sign that the sun is going to come in your connection soon. So that would be very good. I do feel like things will get better, that the moon goes to sleep and the sun comes out. All right, my darlings. Well, if this was not your situation, feel free to pick another pile. You might want to try pile 1. Or you may want to try pile 3 if this was not at all your situation, because pile 1 is actually kind of similar. So there is that. Or you may want to pick another video. Also, if you guys liked this, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys very much. I hope you guys have enjoyed my Thanksgiving or Friends Gathering special. If you guys have not had a chance to check it out, you guys might want to. And I will see you guys soon next time. The next time I'll be with you guys will be in December, and we will have all winter and holiday videos planned. So I have a whole roster. Well, actually, the first week of December, I have some other French stuff. But after that, I have some more stuff for you. So I will look forward to doing those winter videos with you. And I have that all kind of planned out, but I don't have my January videos yet. So if you guys have a topic that you guys would like for me to channel for you, feel free to leave it in the comments and I will. So I will see you guys later. Bye, guys. Hi, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading today, where we are focusing on what is your person's next action towards you. So you have chosen a couple of beautiful things. First of all, this is my Sagittarius November book series. So I have chosen for you guys some really cool books that I have connected to. Now, this book is actually the only one I haven't read, but I'm connected to it, The Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. The reason why I'm connected to this book, actually, for a couple of reasons, but one of them, my daddy has motorcycles, and I love my daddy, and that's awesome. So motorcycles are very cool in our family, which might be connecting to you or your person as well. 2, I like that this book is all about travel, but it's also about philosophy, and it's about the metaphors, about how you and your life can connect to, things that are symbolic in your life. So I connected to this book because back when I was really obsessed with Jewel in my 20s. And so she had all these secret songs that came out. So one of her songs that came out that I loved was 1,000 Miles Away. And she talked about this book in the intro of like a live concert, which I got like a recording of somehow in my 20s. And so basically she was talking about how she actually started reading this book a lot when her car wouldn't work. And she thought that it was because, of this book, that, if her brakes weren't working, that it's because she had trouble slowing down in her life. And if her starter wasn't working, that it was that she had trouble getting going in her life. And that eventually she realized her car was just like broken and she just had to sell it. And so I always thought that anecdote was like a really cute kind of story about this book. So then I started reading it, but I couldn't get into it, honestly. But I think it's a really good book for a lot of people, and I think they all really liked it. And apparently Jewel really liked it, and I love Jewel. So that's my story about this book. Anyways, I wanted to pick Sagittarius books this time that I thought were very philosophical, very spiritual, or in this case, this motorcycle book, travel-oriented, since Sagittarius is all about that. And happy birthday to my Sagittarius darlings out there. I also have picked a very Sagittarius crystal for you. So this is a very beautiful Carnelian, which is a very sexy, sexy crystal. So that's awesome. I'm going to put this in frame for you where you can see it. For you, I feel like your person's next action is they may take like a sexy trip. So there may be some passion here. There may be some travel here. So there is that. Maybe they ride up to you on their motorcycle. All right. So now the deck you actually chose is Tarot Deluxe by Ciro Marchetti. And I did film this video at my bookstore. And even though I was able to take home the books and the crystals, I wasn't actually able to take home that tarot deck because I forgot. But I have another deck by him who is awesome. I love him. He's great. So this is actually the Mystic Palette Tarot that I've used on my channel a few times. I love this deck. It's very cool. And we're going to use it to see what your person's next action is. So I'm going to do one card representing you. This is what you've been going through. This is what you experience with in this connection and kind of like how it's gone. I have 3 cards for your person's side though, because I want to see their next action in the short term. I want to know what they're going to do between now and 2 weeks from now. So this is like in the next week to 2 weeks of time. I have 2 cards representing the past. So I want to know what's happened already to get you and your person to where you are. And I have 3 cards for the future. And this is about 3 months out. So this is a short-term future to see what are their next actions going to be towards you in the next 3 months. And then I have a card for a long-term future. What will they do towards you? What actions will they take or make towards you in the beyond 3-month mark of time? So for you, what you've been going through and experiencing in this connection is, let's see, there's a lot of cups. I see it's the 5, I think. Yep, there it is. Okay. You've been sad. You've been grieving maybe. You've been feeling lonely. Maybe you've been missing your person. It's interesting because I get the Mars card and the Mars symbol on this and Scorpio. So there's Mars and Scorpio. So they may or you may have your Mars and Scorpio, or they or you may be a Scorpio, or they may or you may be missing a Scorpio. So that is a very interesting dynamic there. So I see that you've been really grieving or sad over a Scorpio. Then I see from your person's side what they are going to do in the next week to 2 weeks about it, or what they are going to do about this in this connection here. Now, I'm getting a strong Sagittarius vibe. Now, I get, this card is in reverse, the 10 of Wands, but I get the card that says Saturn and Sagittarius. So I will show you this. So basically upright, there is Saturn here and there is Sagittarius, there's Saturn here and Sagittarius there. So they may have their Saturn and Sagittarius, or there may be some Sagittarius prominent in your or their chart, or you may have your Saturn and Sagittarius. But it's interesting, the Sagittarius energy. I do feel like that your person with this in reverse is that your person is going to release heavy burdens in their life so that they can be available to you. So I do feel that there's going to be a release of heavy burdens. Saturn is the planet that is all about karma, restriction, and feeling tied down. But with it in reverse, I feel like that your person's schedule is going to free up, and they're going to feel like this heavy burden is not so interfering anymore. So that is actually lovely. I also get another Saturn card and a Capricorn card. Okay, that's interesting. So I get the Three of Swords. Your person, it's in reverse. They also have been sad and they've been missing you. And I feel like you're mirroring each other in this way. So where they get the Five of Cups, you get the Three of Swords. You guys have both been very unhappy with this connection and feeling very disappointed in life maybe with this connection and how it's interfered with this connection. But also I feel like you guys have been feeling really like disappointed with what happened. Like even the tattoo on the man is like a broken heart with angel wings. And it's interesting because I get Saturn in Libra. So you or they may have your Saturn in Libra, or there may be strong Libra in this connection. So that's a very interesting dynamic. But with it in reverse, I feel your person is healing. So two strong Saturns. So that represents a strong commitment on their side, in their heart to you. And it also seems like they really feel that they are like very, very committed to you guys, I feel, even being together. And then I get this Capricorn. So I get Sun and Capricorn. So they, again, may have Capricorn in their chart, or you might, or maybe they are a Capricorn, or you are. So it's interesting because I get the Capricorn symbol here and the Sun there. I love his decks because he incorporates a lot of astrology. So that is awesome. And it does seem like this squirrel is putting away pentacles or coins for the winter with the Four of Coins. So I do feel like that your person is working hard, but I'm also getting that they are holding on to you and they don't want to let you go. I feel like they have no intentions of letting you go. So there is that. So I feel like they're holding on tightly. Now, in regards to the past, and that they will continue. So they're gonna, in these next 2 weeks, they are going to release their burden, their schedule will free up and they'll have more free time. They're going to be relaxing and having more fun. They're going to be healing because of this, and that is going to help your connection, and they're going to hold on to you, and I feel like they're not going to want to let you go. Now, in the past, what has happened to bring the two of you to this current situation? So I get the Nine of Wands, and this is again Sagittarius energy, and it has the moon symbol. So the Sagittarius energy and the moon, but it's in reverse. So in the past, and so again, Sagittarius, their moon might be in Sagittarius, or yours might be, or there might be strong Sagittarius, again, energies in this pile. So in you or their charts. So it's interesting with the Nine of Wands being in reverse, feeling like there's been a big battle in this connection or in their lives or in your life, and it not being over. So feeling like that they still have to struggle, or you guys feel like that there's been a struggle in this connection. Maybe you guys have done things that have hurt each other, that have wounded each other, like in battle, but that it feels like they're having a hard time with it. But the good news is that your person is healing. You also might be healing, but it might be harder for you to heal. So it seems like that you may want to focus on your healing because your person is trying to focus on their healing. So that is good. Then I get Jupiter. In this card, do I get any other signs? No. So I get the Two of Coins, but it's interesting that the picture. I'm getting also Capricorn energy. So again, another Capricorn kind of vibe. So this is the card. I'm looking at it because I'm like, wow, there's so many details. So what's interesting is in this card, what I see two blue jays up here flying free. So there's freedom. And then I get the Two of Coins, meaning going back and forth between making a decision and feeling very up in the air about it. And then there's Jupiter here, which is good luck and a lucky planet. And it's Capricorn with this ram goat kind of mermaid thing, which is a symbolism of Capricorn. So there's like the goat here, there's Jupiter there, there's the two blue jays and the two coins. And then I'm getting all these butterflies. So I'm getting a lot of butterflies at the bottom. And then there are these sticks that are connecting to the butterflies. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of Wands, almost like there's been a defensiveness. So this is kind of like a Two of Coins card, but also like a 7 of Wands card. So what's interesting here is I feel like all the defense mechanisms in you and your person's side have now gone through a transformation because it's in the past. So if you guys in this battle have been kind of being defensive in this connection or blocked off or walled off, I feel like these defenses now have been dropped or they've been transformed and changed. I feel like you and your person have both gone through a transformation and a change with these butterflies. The two blue jays are like whatever has been holding you guys down, there is some freedom now, especially on your person's side where two Saturns are in reverse, so that's better. So it's like less stress, less restriction. And I like how this energy is really about being able to feel free. But it's interesting, these wands are over her skirt, kind of still pinning her in, but they're with butterflies. Like they could easily be cast off. So it's a little Eight of Swords where she could get out of this if she wanted to because they're just butterflies. Like you could shoo them away, you know, they could fly away. And it's interesting now there's a stopwatch, which is about time and timing and divine timing. So I feel like in the past, you guys might have been trapped by your own internal mental prison that you guys could have freed yourself from at any time. Also, divine timing was not on your side at that time. Also, I feel like that you guys were needing to focus on your careers instead of each other at that time. And that was kind of the plan. That was what needed to happen at the time so that you guys can be free now. So that's kind of the dynamic. Then I see 3 cards in the future. So, yes, beautiful. Okay, 2 of Wands upright. Their action towards you in the future is highly passionate, highly sexual. They are battling any dragons, any demons, any shadow side that they need to in order to get to you, in order to be with you. I like the future planning. This can also be interpreted as a travel card or a future, looking towards the future card. So that is amazing. So I love this energy, very strong for you guys. And I also see this as a twin flame card where there are 2 flames on these wands. And I love the 2 dragons looking at each other, mirroring each other like twin flame. So I feel like your person is going to take action towards you because they feel like you are their twin flame or an equivalent of that, like a soulmate. So that is strong because they may not always know what twin flames are. Then I get your person has temperance. It's another Sagittarius energy. So there's Sagittarius right there. And it's in reverse. So I feel like your person may still feel like it's not the right timing to take action on this connection in a big way and that they feel like they have to wait. But I feel like if they felt like there was any ability that they had where they could take action on it, that they would. But I feel like they still feel that life still has to give them the opportunity and then they would take action on it. But that they don't have the universe has not opened the door for them to walk through it. And they're waiting. So I feel like this is like they're patiently waiting to be able to take action. And then I get another Sagittarius. How many Sages did we get? We got 1, we got 2, we got 3, we got, let's see, probably not that one. We've gotten so many. 4, 5. We got 5 Sagittarius energy cards out of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cards. Okay, we have gotten more than half. We've gotten like half the cards are Sagittarius energy. If you or your person are not Sagittarius, or you don't have it, or they don't have it in their chart somewhere strong, then I don't know what to tell you because this is the strongest Sagittarius energy I've ever gotten. So, very strong. So I'm getting Mercury in Sagittarius, where the Mercury is up here, and then the Centaur, that Sagittarius energy is right there. And it's the 8 of Wands, but it is, I forget if it was in reverse. I think it was. Yeah, so I'm going to take it, I'll take it upright. I feel like that there is an opportunity where your person will try to move forward with you, but again, because this is really about things speeding up and communication and things happening. So I feel like they might talk sexy to you, but I also feel like maybe they still feel like there's still a block in regards to really moving forward completely. So there's a little bit of that energy going on. Then I see, and I also get Capricorn energy. So in addition to the Sagittarius, I get 1, 2, 3 Capricorns. So that's crazy. So there's a lot of Capricorn energy and Sagittarius energy in this pile. And then I get Sun and Gemini, 10 of Swords in reverse, upright. So I do feel like that your person's actions like later on down the road is I feel like they're wanting to move forward with you. But if there's nothing that changes in this connection, I feel like they may feel forced to have to walk away or end it, even though they don't want to. So it seems maybe like this has to be a collaboration. So it seems like they really want to be able to take action, but they're waiting. They're waiting for the universe to give them the green light. They're waiting for the opportunity. Maybe they need your help. And it seems like if no way is being made, then eventually they have to walk away, but they're just waiting to come forward for you. So it's a little bit of that energy. So I feel like your person doesn't want to walk away. They love you and miss you. But if there's no way forward, then I feel like they may eventually just feel like, well, there's nothing we can do. I will just cut my losses and I will just surrender and accept the fact that we can't be together. So I feel like in this way, I feel like they may just have to accept your decisions or the universe's plan, you know, that kind of thing. They may end up eventually just like accepting that as like the universe just is not helping us out. There's no way that's being created. So kind of like that. So now I want to see from my Let's Fall in Love Oracle deck what their next actions are going to be towards you, or what even would they say to you if they could. Because what's interesting with this deck is this is a card deck that is autumn, and this is the last video that I'm recording in November. So this is the last autumn pile video that I will use this deck in until next year. This is very cool. And let's see here. I wanted to throw it in this video since this is the last one we have. And then we'll be doing winter videos and holiday videos, which are going to be really cute. I have a whole roster planned, so that's good. All right, so I want to know, what are they going to say to you if they could? Oh, well, they're not going to be honest. Oh, and they're not going to be honest. Okay, so maybe they're getting themselves in their own problems, because it seems like they're not really honest, even though they want to be with you and they will come follow you wherever you are. So, but they're not honest, and they're probably either confusing you on purpose or they are confused. I don't feel like they're confused about their feelings for you, but I think they're just so confused as to like, why can't you guys be together? Wow. Okay, so here's a story. So here's a sequential story. All right. So number one, the overarching energy, which I feel from your person towards you, is I feel like they will follow you wherever you go. So if you invited them somewhere, they would show up. They would make sure that they attend. They would follow you. They would come find you. They would be with you. They would absolutely come. But I get that to get there, though, that is not easy, because I get clouded by confusion. So I feel like your person is one where they are needing to be more honest and forthcoming with you, but their actions are that they're just not going to be honest with you. I feel like they're probably going to try to trick you into following them, or they might try to trick you into coming forward for them. So it's an interesting dynamic with clouded with confusion. So I get spinning a trap of lies, playing mind games, hiding from each other, and then coming out of hiding. So I feel like your person might be playing hard to get. So this is an interesting dynamic, especially because you're already sad and hurt and you already miss your person and you want to be with them. But I get that they might not be honest with you. They may try to create this whole fabrication or illusion to make you think one thing's going on when it's not. Then I get playing mind games. So I also feel like they might try to provoke you in some way, or they may try to entice you or have you come forward for them. And then I get hiding from each other. So I get that you both might be kind of going back into your own corners, kind of like away from each other. And then I feel like your person kind of comes out of hiding and being like, oh, hey, hi, how are you? Where they're trying to get your attention. They're trying to they're trying to do this in an immature way. But I feel like they're trying to create a stir, and they're trying to get you to show that you like them. And I feel like they're looking for reassurance, but they're going about it in a way that is not probably very helpful for you and probably kind of hurtful to you. But I do feel like their intentions are good, and I feel like they want to be with you. I feel like they're just trying to get you to get a rise out of you to show that you like them. So now I want to see your person's next actions towards you with the Pink Divine Love Oracle. So what is your person's next actions towards you? Lovers, you're my jam, close bond, and friends. So it does seem like they will share with you how much they love you. But maybe not for a while. I get the summer. Maybe not. Or they might talk about some summertime that you guys spent time together. They may reminisce about a summer you guys have spent together or time you spent together during a summertime. They also may, if they're going somewhere tropical, because this is a book of travel, if they are going somewhere tropical, because I don't think that it's summer when I'm releasing this video. However, this is timeless. So you may be watching this during a time when you are in the summer or across the world, and we're in LA, or I'm in LA, but you might be watching this, let's say in Australia, and it's totally the summer for you. So it's also very an interesting dynamic. So, but lovers, you are my jam, close bond, and friends. Super cute. I love these cards. So it does seem like that they will definitely show their love for you, though. And that might be, again, another reason why it's so confusing. Because then I get that they're going to be going within. So withdrawn from the world, needs space and time for self. So that's, again, part of their hiding. Or so they may be unavailable at some time, or they may withdraw from you at some time, or they may hide, or they may just be doing some self-growth and some self-reflection. So that is that. Then I get happy home, things going well, happy and content. So then I feel like they're going to try to make you happy. So they're going to try to do something to make you happy. So that's good. And then winter, summer and winter both show up. No progress, frozen. So I get that with your person that you may feel like there's no progress, or maybe there's a time period of inaction when they're going within, or maybe if they're going to visit home, say they're going to travel and they're going home, that maybe that you won't see them much, or you might not talk to them a lot when they're at home, or that sort of thing. So it's an interesting dynamic, winter, summer. So that could also be that maybe one of you is in this hemisphere and the other one's in the other hemisphere, or there's like a distance there. So it's a very interesting dynamic here. So that's an interesting thing. So your person's giving you mixed messages for their next action. That's very strong. Then I want to see what kind of spiritual growth, or what kind of growth will they be going through internally in order to help this connection progress. So what is the next action they will be going through within? Or what self-growth or self-development will they be going through? Ooh. Okay, this is interesting. Okay. So, number one, they seem to have some fears of commitment. They get very overwhelmed when it comes to feeling committed to somebody. So I get the card of overwhelmed. I'm also getting the card of strong commitment. So your person definitely feels overwhelmed when they think about committing for real, or committing for the long term, or committing in a marriage. So I feel like that can make them intimidated, or that can make them nervous, or they might worry, can they do it? Can they fulfill it? So they're feeling a little bit worried or nervous about this. Then I get persevere and reconciliation. So they're also doing some internal work so that they know how to be consistent and persistent and persevere during these times of challenge, especially during this time period of the unknown, because I'm getting the unknown here. So your person has a hard time not knowing things, and they have a hard time going into the unknown and not knowing what to expect, and they want to kind of control things or figure some things out. So I think your person has a hard time going into the unknown, feeling like, I don't know what's going to happen next, and I feel like they try to always figure out what's going to happen next, especially because this connects to this book, and I think this is the time to read this to you. So the quote on the back of this book, which is very interesting, it says, "The solutions are all simple after you've already arrived at them, but they're simple only when you already know what they are." So this is a really beautiful quote that talks to me when I'm interpreting this. This to me tells me, it's easy when we know what the answers are. It's easy when we know what the future is. It's easy when we know what's going to happen. And then we can easily find solutions because we know what's going to happen. But the problem is the unknown. The problem is when we don't know. That's where it's hard, because then we don't know what to do, what to expect, what will happen, what advice should we have, all of that. So what's interesting is I get that your person is going to start to do some reflection. They're going to start to find out some knowledge. So either they'll get some epiphanies and breakthroughs and realizations, or maybe they will get psychic messages or start to channel or start to find out some knowledge, either learning about how to work on commitment fears, or maybe working through commitment blocks in that way, or maybe they'll learn knowledge about maybe psychically trying to predict what's going to happen next, or maybe they will, maybe they watch these videos. Maybe your person is working through maybe having some more coping skills for when they feel anxious and overwhelmed, or maybe they're learning about how to persevere more in connections and not just be inconsistent. And then I get reconciling. So I feel like as they go through this growth, that's what's going to help them reconcile with you and get back together with you, or get together with you, or reunite with you, or take action on this connection. So that is also very, very cool. All right, so now I'm going to pick one final deck, and we're going to see what is happening here. So I want to know your person's next actions. Let's say within the next month. We'll give it a little in-between time. Not quite 2 weeks, but not 3 months. In the next month, your person's next actions towards you. Tension. Okay. So, turbulence, arguments, stress. Your person's next action might be they might argue with you. They might communicate some things to you that they've been holding back or holding in. We even see the kind of the ocean that's turbulent. So there's definitely some tension here. They may communicate that to you. But again, I get confusion. Puzzled, unsettled, unclear. And that's kind of more of the unknown. And that's the clouded and confusion card. So your person may still try to kind of keep things cloudy. They might try to keep you stressed or you in tension. They might try to keep that in order to make themselves feel desirable, or to make you kind of communicate to them that you care for them. And then I get shattered, which is damaged, brokenhearted, destroyed. So also I feel like, again, your person may do things that might hurt you in order to make you like them. Like, it's a very kind of twisted way. Now, obviously, if this borders on abuse, I would never encourage you guys to stay. But if your person is doing things where they're like making it look like they're going out with people, but then you're like, oh, they're with their friends. Or if they're doing things when they're like, oh my gosh, are they talking to somebody, but really it's their brother, then maybe that might be kind of like harmless little things that they're doing in order to get your attention, in order to make themselves be looked at as more popular or more liked, or to get you to come forward for them. Obviously, if they're doing stuff to hurt you on purpose, that's not good. And obviously, if they have a malicious streak, that's not good. So there is that. But they might still try to do things that are confusing, where they act hot and cold, or where they do things where they know they're pulling back, and that. Because yes, this is exactly it, because I get the chase. So I get that they're kind of trying to engage you in a chase dynamic where you're chasing after them. I feel like that's kind of what it is. But also they might start to chase after you next. So that's interesting. So it says preparation, relentless pursuit, and victory. So they might also try to chase you, or try to give to you, or try to romance you, or that sort of thing. And that might be what's confusing. Like, they might do something that hurts you and then chase you, and then you may be very twisted around and be very confused. And then I get unconditional love, which is innocence, support, and whole heart. So that might be what's very confused. Like, they might hurt you, and you might be confused in this, and then they chase you, and then they give you this unconditional love. And then that might be like really confusing. So they may alternate things in order to get you to react. So I feel like your person may be a little provocative in that way. I feel though it's innocent. However, obviously, if you guys are going through an experience like this and you feel like it's not, if it's being malicious, then I would definitely say that's important information for you guys to consider, and consider if this is somebody you want to hold on to. All right, you guys. Well, that is what I have for you. I want to give you guys a nice message last, though. I'm going to go to Stellar Energy Oracle. I want to know what your person's thinking and feeling for you, because I feel like this reading could be a little confusing or a little heavy. So I want to see a little bit of this. Yes, that's what it is. Your person's trying to basically, if you've pulled back or if you're like wanting them to make the first move, they want you to make the first move. So I get patiently waiting. Your person is patiently waiting for you to come forward, and they're trying to antagonize you, or they're trying to like play mind games with you a little bit to get you to come forward to them. They're trying to get you to chase them. And then I get bountiful harvest. Yeah. So this is basically beautiful. This is growth, abundance, and patience. So these are 2 cards of patience. This is the card of the fall, which as you can see with the pumpkins, it's this time frame. This is like a pumpkin. So I feel like that it's like your person is just trying to get you to chase after them now. That's what it is. Maybe your person's a little impatient and trying to poke the bear, or maybe your person is just patiently trying to get you to do this. And so that's why they're just kind of trying to get you to come to them. So that is what I have for you now. I will leave you here. I hope you guys have liked this video. If this is not your situation or it did not resonate with you, feel free to pick another pile or another video. And until next time, I hope you guys like this, and I will see you in December for my winter videos, which will start probably like the 2nd week of December. And if you guys did like this, I'd love for you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. See you later. Bye.